Hey there guys, welcome to Anthony Reviews where Anthony reviews. I think it's safe to say at this point that I'm a Kamen Rider fan. I've been a fan of things like Power Rangers since I was a kid, and that eventually evolved into a love for things like Super Sentai. Back in 2023, I watched Shin Kamen Rider and I really liked it. And as of right now, I'm currently watching the 2025 series Kamen Rider Zets. But my first series will always have a special place in my heart, that being Kamen Rider Gavv. Kamen Rider Gavv was a really good show in my opinion, with a wonderful cast and just really cool looking writers. If you watched my video from last year, the toy collecting hyperfixations video, you might remember that I started buying SH Figuarts of Toku heroes, consisting of Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. Now, over a year later, I have the three main writers from Kamen Rider Gavv, and I want to take a look at them. The three figures we're looking at today can all be classified as Kamen Rider. To avoid saying Kamen Rider 100 times in this video, I'll just be referring to them as their unique names. That being Gavv, Valen, and Vram. Each of these figures feel very unique, and I want to go over each of them in detail. If you were looking at these and didn't know what the show is themed around, you might be able to guess. Kamen Rider Gavv was a food-based show, or more accurately, snack-based. Each writer has a distinct snack motif in their design. Gavv, our main character, is based on gummies. Valen, our first tertiary writer, is based on chocolate, and finally Vram is based on pudding. Some of these I would say are fairly obvious. It's sort of impossible to look at someone like Valen and not notice the clear chocolate bars all over him. Gavv, I guess, is subtle with mostly translucent body parts, but once you know what it's made of, it makes sense. Vram is a bit funny, of course, because at first glance I would not blame you if you thought that he was like candy corn themed or something. But if you look closer, you realize he's covered in little pudding cups. The detail that really seals the deal, though, is these spoons sticking up like antennae on his head. I just think it's a really fun way to tie the whole look together. These figures, being SH Figuarts, are decently expensive, so I'd expect them to stand out in terms of quality. I'm happy to say, though, that they all come off really nice in hand. As mentioned before, the translucent pieces on Gavv look stellar, especially with the sort of gradient they have. He's predominantly purple, but the yellow and blue hues just make it nice with a little bit of variety. Valen's chocolate looks like, well, chocolate. Both milk and white are represented here. The shiny metallic parts meant to resemble the candy wrapper, though, are what really stand out. He's a bit of an odd one out of the three, though, because he has a black bodysuit. The other two have a very shiny silver, and his is matte black. I do think that the black and brown look good together, so it was a smart choice overall. Maybe silver would have just looked weird here. The orange and yellow of Vram do stand out against the other two, which is nice. The harsh angle of the eyes with the loud colors against the silver just makes them feel a bit more aggressive. This character was an antagonist for the other two very briefly, so it does feel intentional. His eyes are also gorgeous, if you don't mind me saying. While Valen's eyes are very flat, and I do like Gavv's eyes as well, Vram just has this really interesting look to them. The layer of detail behind the translucent plastic, it really makes me believe this is like a helmet that someone's actually wearing. The craftsmanship of it is just on full display. As I mentioned, Figuarts are far more expensive than say something like a Marvel Legends figure, though that price gap seems to be shrinking in recent years, but that's a topic for another video. My point being, you expect a high level of quality when it comes to them. You want them to appear as detailed and as accurate to the show as they possibly can. While there are certain things that are perhaps too small to detail, such as the Gochizo in Gavv's, well, red Gavv, he is just an unpainted little purple piece of plastic. So details like that may seem like tiny things here and there that could be better. But overall, I would say that the figures do look fantastic. It's easy just to see how much care and attention that these figures can get. Articulation is better than a lot of figures, but still not as good as some others. Kamen Rider is an action show for children, so you'd want to get these guys in cool poses. For the most part, you can. All their iconic poses from the show and various action shots can be achieved with the movement they have available. I wouldn't say that they're like overly articulated or super articulated. You can get a lot of expression out of the heads and neck, which is something I always love. The legs and arms can be a bit hindered at times, but that's usually because of the pieces of the outfit that they have. While I've always enjoyed the paint and sculpt of Figuarts, I've never thought of them as like the kings of articulation or anything. Honestly, companies like Mafex and even things like Amazing Yamaguchi Those have always beat them in this area for me. For what these are though, I mean there's nothing like crazy disappointing or anything. They work, and they work really well for what you need them to do. They're just not above and beyond anything else Figuarts has done. For accessories across the board, they come with a good amount. Individually though, you can see some weak spots here, or more accurately, weak spot. Gavv, the star of the show and the first figure that came out, only came with hands. It's a good variety of hands, don't get me wrong, but that's all he came with. I guess with this character, he usually gains a unique weapon or something when he transforms into different snack forms like potato chip swords or a big Gatling gun when he's like this lollipop man. So not having anything unique here does make sense because this is just sort of his base form. But this is almost immediately proven wrong because when Valen comes out, he comes with something. The Gavv blade, which is as close as an iconic weapon that Gavv has. Valen does not use this item in the show, so this was clearly meant to sort of supplement the figure. Now, to be fair, we've seen this practice before. Sometimes companies will pack in accessories for other characters for one reason or another. This could have been a budget thing, or maybe just negligence. I'm not entirely sure. Luckily, and by luckily I mean Valen and Vram are more expensive than Gavv was, they come with hands and their unique weapons. So if you get all three, you can at least feel like you have a complete set. If you just got Gavv, you're missing out, and you've just got Valen, well, you have this extra sword. The accessories, though, are nicely painted. Like I mentioned earlier, you get a variety of hands. Other than having to buy another figure to feel complete, I really don't have many complaints here. Kamen Rider Gavv will always hold a special place in my heart. A fun show with great action and likable characters. I highly doubt I'll be getting the other riders besides the main one in future installments. But for this series, I couldn't help it. Valen and Vram just mean so much to me, just as much as Gavv does. While they were definitely not cheap, that will be something that will make me sort of stop from buying these in the future. I couldn't stop myself from doing it for this series. For this series, it was worth it. This video is brought to you in part by Hobby Link Japan. If you're a fan of things like Super Sentai, anime, or just Japanese media in general, why not check out Hobby Link Japan? They've got figures, statues, and a whole horde of different kinds of collectibles. Use the code on screen to get 10% off all in-stock items. Check out Hobby Link Japan today using the link down in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching my review of the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Gavv figures. As I mentioned, Kamen Rider Gavv is a very special show to me, so when these figures were coming out, I really did feel the need to get all three of them. There were other figures in the line, and other forms of Gavv and other characters, but I just limited myself to just these three characters, just for my own sake. But let me know what you guys think of the figures down below. If you like any other Kamen Rider figures or are excited for future stuff, are you excited for the Zetz figure coming out? Would you want me to look at the Goju Wolf figure from Gozuger, the Super Sentai figure that just came out? Let me know. But thank you again for watching. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. I do have some other Power Rangers, Toku, Kamen Rider stuff on the channel, so check it out if you'd like. And I guess that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.